Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy, and it's that day of the year again. I want to thank you all for 6 years on this channel. It has been 6 years today since I started recording Earthbound as my first Let's Play, and when I started, I thought that was going to be pretty much the only thing that I would do. Maybe I'd go back to Let's Playing at a future date, but I didn't really intend to specifically be a Let's Player. And I think in the video where I get to Winters in that series was where I was contemplating out loud to myself if I should do more games, and I think Pokemon Crystal was the first one that came to mind. And sure enough, I did that game one day, so it's kind of funny how things like that work out. But I don't mean to get into it right away. I do kind of want to say, I just want to say that I like showing my appreciation each year. I like recording these, and that's why I'm doing this. And this will not be replacing XD's update for the day, so if for whatever reason you don't care about these kinds of videos, XD should be updated about an hour after this goes up, though, so no worries there. Aside from that, though, this video is primarily just going to be me talking about the past year, reflecting on things, looking toward the future, that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Now, for the past year, 2013, it feels really weird to be saying this, and I don't think I've said this in a video like this before, but this past year, if I had to say anything about it, I think that overall, not just speaking in terms of videos, this has been the best year of my life. It felt very fulfilling, and it feels really good to say that, too. Just because it's not often that you hear people say things like that, but just all the places I got to go, all the people I got to meet, all the things I got to do, and, you know, just all the feedback that I've gotten from my videos, I feel like it was a very fulfilling year. In terms of the actual projects that I did in 2013, well, technically Pokemon Coliseum, I think, was finished before my anniversary last year, though, so I won't include that, though, but you know, Mario 64 DS was something I wanted to do for a long time. The whole menu system that I'd put together for that was something that I'd been drafting and thinking about for years, and it was something that I was glad I finally got to do. Link's Awakening, I don't really think was too standout of a project. It's not that I didn't like doing Link's Awakening, it's just the fact that I feel like I work better with more cinematic Zelda games, and there were some things I felt I did right with it, but it wasn't like a big standout project to me, honestly. But as for the last 3 projects of last year, I wanted to branch out into new things, and I wanted to try some new game series I hadn't done before, and I wanted to try, you know, incorporating some new series that I really like into the channel, and I feel like it was for the better, because I felt a lot more, you know, fresh doing my commentary over things that I hadn't done before. I mean, I like doing my Pokemon games, I like doing my Zelda games, but it felt good to do new things, considering the year before that the only new series that I did was, you know, the start of Kirby with Kirby's Epic Yarn, but that's just how I feel about it, was that it was a change for the better, and it feels like a lot of you guys felt the same way. I mean, from talking to you guys at conventions, it sounded like a lot of you really enjoyed, especially my Kid Icarus Uprising and Animal Crossing New Leaf series, and it felt really good to hear that, because both of those were really, really challenging to put together. I mean, Kid Icarus Uprising, the editing was nuts, there was a lot to talk about, with only a couple exceptions in a few areas, it was all live commentary, so I had to know the levels well enough to commentate them live and not talk over the voice acting when it was important to hear it and stuff like that. That was not easy, to say the least, and I really enjoyed getting to share one of my favorite games of all time with some of you that hadn't even played it or really tried it or anything like that, or maybe you got it and put it down because you didn't like the controls and stuff like that. It felt good to do something like that again. And then as for Animal Crossing, as I said during that series, that was an idea that I had for years, doing like an open-ended game or a game that you can be really creative with, and having viewer input with it, and kind of doing all that stuff with it that I ended up doing with Animal Crossing. It's just that I kind of shelved that idea over and over again because I was kind of sort of on the fence of doing that with that game, just because it had all the stuff that I wanted between the public works projects and just all the other new things that were added in New Leaf. That is what really pushed me to it, and believe me, I was a nervous wreck before I really revealed that series. I was just like, God, people loved Kid Icarus Uprising, and I'm getting messages like every day of people saying it was like my best Let's Play, and I'm just like, and I'm succeeding that with Animal Crossing. People are gonna think it's such a dumb idea and it's so boring, and you know, I'm sure plenty of people did think that though, but I was glad that so many people seemed to like it and that I had such positive response when I announced it. That felt very good because it was an idea that I believed in for a long time, and that even though I kept shelving it and I was nervous about it, I really believed in it. I wouldn't have started it if I didn't believe that firmly in that it could have been something. And, you know, it was fun, you know? Animal Crossing was really, really brutal to put together. It was probably the most work of anything I've made to date, just between the editing, the fact that I had to put the videos together in only a few hours before posting them just because they were recorded in real time, you know, I'd record them the previous day, and then I'd record them like the previous afternoon, and then I would have them edited that evening so that I could upload them the next day. It was that tight. And these were long videos too, of course, though, but it's just that getting to build up these characters that we had living in our town, taking what they said at face value and making characters out of whatever they were saying and things like that, getting to take all of your creations and ideas and make one big cohesive thing out of it, it was unlike anything I've made before, and just reading the stories that you guys had written about the town, seeing the pictures that you guys had drawn of it, seeing all of your ideas. I mean, heck, there were times when I didn't even ask for suggestions, and you guys would suggest things anyway, and I liked them enough to include them. You know, I pointed that out quite a few times throughout the series, and just made me really feel good seeing all that, and I wish I did something like that years ago, even if there wasn't really a game around for that. I wish I found a game years ago that I could have done that with, that I knew a lot about, and it just was the most feel-good series for me, I have to say that much. And I don't know if I'd say it was the most special series that I've made to me, though, but it definitely is up there. And it just felt very fulfilling ending the year with the finale of that series. And, you know, it's not really the finale. I know it's the finale to daily updates, though, but it is still going, of course. That's pretty much just me done reflecting on the past year. But as for this year, I think XD has had its ups and downs. There's been times like where I don't think I had like much control over what's going on in the game, and it just kind of led to some videos being really, really battle heavy. You know, same issue with Coliseum, really, and it's not like I wasn't expecting that, though, but I feel like XD's had some good moments. I have enjoyed making it and all that. It's kind of a Pokemon game I wish got more attention and all that, but throughout this year, XD does not really have all that much longer to go. I would say probably about 2 or 3 more weeks it'll be done, bonus videos and all. And Animal Crossing is going to keep getting updated throughout the year. I do want to mention, though, that Halloween's actually not going to be the last video. Unless Pongo moves out, Pongo's birthday is actually going to be the last thing. I believe that's going to be on November 7th, so that will be the last video of Animal Crossing out of all the special events that we're doing. April's going to be a huge month for Animal Crossing. There are 8 different events happening in April that I'm going to be doing. I guess that makes it April. Okay, that was stupid. But then again, that's not anything new for me. As for the next year on my channel, I will be doing new game series that I haven't done before, and I will be doing sequels, but I don't just want to do the same things all the time. You know, I always get people on, like, my XD videos that are new viewers. They're all like, oh, man, like, you have to do X and Y after this, and I'm just like, I don't want to do Pokemon games all the time. I would get tired of it, and they take a lot of work to put together, and that's why I, you know, don't just do the same series all the time. That's why I'm not just strictly a Pokemon channel or anything like that. As for the next year, though, in the way of, I guess, what to expect, there is something that I have not spoken publicly anywhere, and I really can't believe I'm about to say this. Every now and again, I tease this really, really big project that I've been working on for over a year now, which is the longest time I've worked on a Let's Play before releasing it. In fact, it's been more like 18 months at this point. And the thing is, that is not the only thing of that size that I'm working on. I'm actually working on a second project that is going to be easily a year before it's going to have easily a year of work put into it before it's released. And that gives you an idea of why I have no idea what order things are coming out, and every single thing that I'm working on is either really big, or is going to have a lot of build-up before I can release it, or is just going to be a lot of work to put together in general. Because I like having a lot of the technical aspects, and having a clear plan in mind when I start a series. I've kind of always been that way about planning things, and, you know, that's just kind of the person I am. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys back here for a new episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness in just a little bit. Thanks again for the past 6 years.